Welcome to that spiritual, actual, factual answers to questions you're asking. You find them inside you, recite you, reciting the records of Akashic. We laughing, we drafting the passion through vary. It's time for that comedy, dramedy, all of the fanciest, catchiest acronyms. Listeners, listen, we traveling. Consciousness is always unraveling. The reading you're having is mapping you back to your natural habitat. Abracadabra, it's magic, let's basking it. To top it off, the host, all the classiest. Now, what were you asking for? All of the answers? What? All the answers.
Okay, this got it good. Boom. Okay, wow. I love not having the fucking headphones on my head. I love it. Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry. My mouse is freaking out, so I just have to do something real quick.
My fox is freaking out. My gorilla is freaking out. My other animal. Aardvark, platypus, chicken, monkey, cat, dog, human.
Monkey butt. What is happening? Why is it not showing up? Well, I know why that was doing it that way. Now it all makes sense.
Now it all makes sense. Now it all makes sense.
Okay, I have a new mouse and it was doing weird things. And now it is not. Yay.
Mice
Mice are working. Yes, we are here. Well, Katie Rubin.
Are we here? Are we met? Are we
We're rocking it. I still have morning voice, so you can hear me with my Barry White bass.
You ever make a coffee in the morning and it's just not right? It doesn't have the right mixtures of,
oh, yeah.
You know?
All the time.
Ugh. It's one of the worst things I experience in my life.
This one's meh.
I hate it because then you either have to redo the whole thing and start from the beginning and then do a remixture, and that's like a whole undertaking. And then the ritual is done. Now you're mad at the ritual. Usually the ritual is fun. Now you're mad at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When our pleasure is interrupted by petty problems, it sucks.
What's also, I guess for me, it's like that particular pleasure, that particular ritual, I'm so married to it that it's like deeply upsetting when that one goes awry. Like if I have a mediocre bath at night, I'm like, that wasn't the best bath, but that's all it gets from me. But when the espresso is fucked, I just am a little devastated. I've been putting all kinds of healthy shit in my espresso in an attempt to be like, see, it's okay. I'm putting like heartburn powder healing medication herbal
into the espresso. It doesn't like destroy it when you drop it in that acid.
I don't know. And then I'm putting collagen in there because that's good for stuff. And then I'm putting all kinds of crazy witchy wonderfulness in there.
Witchy woo.
All right, so your birthday just happened.
Yep, hold on. I'm going to turn my phone to make it not say hi to me.
Ping.
Shut up, phone.
Shut your mouth. Shut your pie hole mouth.
I'm angry at my phone for helping me navigate my life.
Shut your face.
Yes, yesterday was my birthday. Is that what you just said?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you? Tell us. Just say it.
53 years young, baby.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed that I said it that way. I'm 53 years old. And that's great, too.
There was a whole thing on Armchair Expert recently about that. They were like, what if it's 53 years young? And then everybody felt better. And I was like, does that really make you feel better?
That to me is kind of like saying it's wine o'clock or something. It's the same.
It's equally lame.
It's the flowery like script on a board that you put on a thing. I'm 53 years young. Eat, pray,
it's
love.
Like, yeah,
wine o'clock.
Sick, relax, love. The rules in this house are fun, beach, sandals. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we inscribed this in what?
Get her done.
You know that there's a full store in Beacon, New York of just those signs?
Oh, God.
Just
and there's no irony to it.
Oh, no, it's just adorability everywhere. So
is that
cute.
the name of the store? Adorability?
Everywhere.
With an OOR?
Adorability everywhere. It's all one word and it's a hashtag and it's burned into a wood thing in the front of the building. I do want to do a local shout out to the single, in fact, now that I've thought of it, I'm going to have it today. The single best matcha boba tea I have ever had in my life is at Matcha Thomas on, I think that's what it's called, on fucking Main Street in Beacon, New York. Fly here from another country to drink it because it will blow your fucking mind.
All right. I'm on my way.
All right. So your birthday happened, and then a magical thing occurred on your birthday
Oh.
that some of us were a part of. Tell us about it.
My dear friend and housemate created a whole puzzle hunt adventure
A punt?
that started the night before. A punt. A puzzant. A puzzant. Sounding dirty now.
I know. I like it.
Yeah, like I was having family dinner at Denise's, and then Carolina showed up and was like, hey, and this man came to the door and gave me this envelope. Obviously, it was part of the adventure.
Oh.
And I read the letter was like this whole, announcement of you have to save the kitties and puppies of the world, and you have to solve these things. And there was a series of clues. I will say, though, one of the first things that I was given to solve was a 2,000 dot connect the dot. And I got triggered by it. I got angry at it. I was like, I don't fucking want to do this. And I felt really bad because like this wonderful, beautiful gift had been given me, like with so much love and care of like, oh, I've created this whole thing for you. And like one of the first things out the gate, I have art scars. So things with like fine line and drawing and careful.
Okay.
Like that. And I just started and I was like, I can't do this for 2,000 dots.
Wait a minute.
This is making me crazy. It was a 2,000 point connect the dots.
But what's a connect the dots?
Connect the dots. You have, like, you can't see the picture until you draw from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8.
Oh, they were numbered.
Yeah, you have numbered connect the dots.
Okay, my bad.
Did you have no childhood?
We have discussed this. No, I had no childhood. You've met me.
I have.
We've known each other quite some time. No,
but literally you didn't watch Sesame
to be
Street
fair,
or do
I know
coloring books?
I know what connect the dots are, but when you're describing it as 2,000 dots, I'm picturing like a sheet of paper with 2,000 indiscriminate dots on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does that work?
Yeah, no, numbered. And that's almost worse because you're like, where's 17? Because regular connect the dots, you just go 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 17. It's over there.
The picture you had to draw had 2,000 points on it?
Yeah.
That's too many.
Thank you.
Do you mean literally 2,000 or are you being hyperbolic?
Literally 2,000.
What was it a picture of? The fucking Eiffel Tower in detail?
Well, so I'm going to tell you what I did. First off, I was in the middle and I couldn't get it. There were some eyes emerging. So I was like, okay, it's some kind of a face. And you can kind of like step back from it because there's enough dots on that page that you can kind of blur your eyes and maybe make a picture out of that. But I couldn't quite work it out. And then I did one corner and it was clearly a snake. And I was like, this is a Medusa, right? Because there's eyes in the middle and then there's a snake off to the side that looks like it's coming off of the head. So I did another section rather than doing it in perfect order. I just chose a section and worked on that and I found a snake. And I tried texting that to the number and it was like, you must submit a completed picture. And I was like,
kill me.
I will murder. And I was not enjoying it at that moment. I was kind of being a dick. In the room, I was like, I don't want it. And everybody joined in for a while and was helping. We all took corners of it. It was very cute that we were all working together. So that was sweet, but it was too much. And so then meanwhile, Carolina mentioned the name of this puzzle because someone else was kind of excited about it. Like, ooh, I want to take this to Burning Man and give it to a bunch of stoned people because that would be enjoyable for them. Right?
Right.
To just spend time going, yeah.
Yeah.
And so she said the name of it, and I was like, it was like Megadot or something like that. And so I just Googled Megadot Medusa.
Nice.
To see if I could find a completed version of it.
Yes.
And it's the cover of the book that it came from is the Medusa.
Wonderful.
So I totally screenshotted that and then sent that in. I said, you didn't say my completed version.
Wow.
I worked around it. I worked the system.
Found a workaround. I like it. Workaround, not to be confused with a reach around. Carry on.
No, it was no reach around on that one. Anyway, all that is to say, it was really lovely and really beautiful that it carried over into the next day. I had to work. I was directing yesterday during the day, but then in the evening completed the puzzle hunt. It was all over my house and in my basement, little parts and pieces. And
so how did that work? How was it set up?
Some of the things would be I would submit the answer to a clue that I had found to the video thing, to the chat channel, and it would send me back a video of Katie talking about her memories of me, or of my parents talking about memories of me, or of Rami talking, different beloveds in my life talking about.
Did it feel to you like somebody had given you a homework assignment on your birthday? You were like, great, now I have to do homework.
Only the dots.
Okay.
That felt like that was like, how dare you? I got really indignant in my heart.
I love it. I love it.
But everything else was just like a gift of joy. Like, oh my God.
Aw.
Also, you can feel the love that goes into something like that. Like that's
Of course.
when someone puts effort like that into it, it's like, oh my God, that is some love expression. And thank you. I'm super grateful.
Totally.
And so like some of it, it would say like, for the next thing, and it would give like a clue that I was like, oh, that has to do with the plum tree. So I'd go out to the plum tree and I'd find another clue. And it would be like, now send an answer to this riddle to the audio, to the channel. And then I would do that. So it was like a mix of like submit to the WhatsApp and find something else in the house. And then ultimately I have this really complicated model, like mechanical model with like little wooden gears that I have to assemble I'm not going to rush that. And that doesn't bother me because I don't feel the time pressure.
Okay.
And it's mechanical, so I don't have to make the drawing.
Okay.
I just have to put these little pieces together. Anyway, that was a big part of my birthday was that and rehearsal. And rehearsal was great. We did our designer run and it was they're doing great. So
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I noticed something happening in your response to the gift that reminds me of a response I've seen you have to certain things I've given you. And I'd love to talk about it.
Okay.
In it, there's not any judgment here. This is just, I'm actually curious to understand. You had mentioned, can I just be transparent about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you had mentioned when you were texting me about this, that it was so much love that you were a little like, I don't remember the words you said, like not sure how to take it in. Is that the words you said? Or like, it's so much love. It's such a big gift that you're like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. And the way you're talking about it now, it reminds me of certain things where in our history as friends, I'll give you like a hug or like a effusive praise or something I'm giving from my heart where my imagination will say, my dream is that you go, my God, I love you so much. And we're hugging and we're sharing the love.
Right.
But oftentimes instead, it's not that. It feels sort of not received. It feels like it goes to the head and it goes like, all right, thank you. I appreciate this. Goodbye. Almost like I have to get out of here. This is uncomfortable. I'm in my head. I'm definitely not in my heart. I'm leaving this room now.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, what happened? I was just trying to love you.
It's the lifelong struggle to accept that I deserve good things.
I got you.
I mean, I'm being a little bit dismissive with the way I say that, but that is actually at the heart of it is what it comes down to. I've been given so much and I'm constantly given so much in life. I live in a state of grace and gratitude so much of the time in my life that sometimes I go to a head place of calculating what this then occurs as an expectation of reciprocation or how can I possibly return this? And if I say something right now, it'll just sound like I'm saying it because you said it, like all the head things.
Okay.
Doesn't always happen. There are times when I'm seated well in my heart and I can just be like, I love you right back in 100% and it can flow in a circle. And that does happen too.
Yeah.
But when you're witnessing that, that's what's happening. My head is getting in the way and calculating all the good things and privilege that I have in my life and wonderful stuff. And then it enters like, do you deserve this? You should probably somehow deflect it off to some other place or give it to somebody else or some stupid shit like that.
Totally get that. Let me ask a question. Now I have another question. It sounds like I'm hearing you say there's two different reactions. One of them is the calculating of what am I now obligated to that I don't want to be obligated to, that I'm then going to have to reciprocate, which is different from the second one, which is, and you tell me the better words in a second. I just made my own words up. But like the second one being, I don't deserve this. I can't take it in because I don't deserve it. Yeah. How would you frame the first one? Because they're different, right?
It's real close. Yeah. The first one's very close. It's not, the I don't want to be obligated part isn't exactly right, but it's something like that. I don't quite accept that it's like, I refuse to be obligated, but it is a little bit of, it's like, because we all express things differently, if it's almost like love languages, like if you express in a certain love language to me and it's different than the love language I'm totally comfortable with, I'm going to feel like shit, I have to I have to express equally in that love language, and I'm not sure I can.
Oh, so it's anxiety a little bit.
It's a little bit of anxiety.
I see. That makes total sense. I get that.
And especially when it's amazing, like when it's super bright, shining, then I definitely am like, I don't know if I'm that bright and shiny.
Huh. So you feel obligated to...
I don't know if I can shine my light back that way, that well.
You feel obligated to meet it exactly where it is.
Yes, that's it.
Interesting. How interesting.
And that's a head response.
Sure, right.
Because the pure heart would not, it would just be like, thank you.
It would just take it in. Yeah.
It would just take it in and love it. And in a future time, it's possible that it would express love back to that person in a different but equally awesome way. Or it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And who gives a shit?
Yeah. That's cool. I get it.
Thank you for calling me on that. This is the discussion I constantly have around this sort of thing.
Okay.
Within my own head and heart.
I don't even mean it as a call you on it. I mean it as I just literally wanted to understand it because for myself, when I'm giving you love and then watching this occur, it lands like he doesn't like me very much. He doesn't want my love.
Sure.
Because he doesn't like me, which is totally an interpretation I'm putting on it.
Right. And that's your shit that you're putting on it on top of everything else. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm aware of that. So instead of buying that, I'm asking you to tell me, what is it for you?
Yeah.
Because I want to know what it is for you. For me, I can narrate all day and make up a narrative, but we know how that goes.
Well, I have started. Oh, I didn't do it this morning. Shit. Oh, well, I'll do it after this. I have finally restarted some kind of practice, and it's literally just been a morning gratitudes, just literally speaking them out loud, a list of whatever I'm feeling gratitude for that day. It's like my meditation. So I've started doing that, and that actually feels like a good path towards that because gratitude comes from receiving things and saying, I receive it and I'm grateful for it, and that's it. It doesn't have to have.
Oh, you're saying, okay, I'm trying to see what the connection is between you mentioning that you're doing a gratitude list to what we were just talking about. And you're saying.
I think it's a way of teaching myself to receive.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Okay. That makes sense.
To receive with grace, with an open heart, without a calculation.
Well, for me, too, it's like even just knowing what's going on for you takes away for me the feeling of whatever narrative I've written on it. Like for me, as soon as you go like, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that, then for me, immediately I go, he's got a thing going on over there about this that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. So
it just alleviates I no longer have a narrative then about like, why is this happening? Something bad has occurred toward me. It has nothing to do with me.
Right.
It's just your thing.
And we both personalize everything and make it in we all do this in different ways. We say, the fact that someone gives me something could just be, you just gave me something and my narrative is my own bullshit narrative around it. And I got to process that. And then your response is your own narrative around how it came back at you.
Always.
So it's so interesting.
But that's what humans are doing all the time. That's
the only form of communication we have.
I know. Isn't it weird? That's why I love being super communicative and clear about like, hey, what does this mean when you say it? Because I want to take my interpretation off the table. Because almost like never if I'm feeling negative, not never, but rarely if I'm feeling negative, am I correct about the projection I'm projecting.
Right.
So I don't even feel the need to fucking articulate the projection. I just want to be like, so what is that for you?
What's going on there?
I don't even have to engage my own narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that was great. Thanks for sharing that.
Cool. We have Andrus is here if we want to bring her in.
Sure. Before we go, I hope none of that put you on your heels or made you feel like defensive in any way.
No, because it's something I'm so actually incredibly aware of. There is absolutely there's no surprise to that, to your, this is one of my very specific current things that I'm seeing.
I just I actually literally have no charge on it myself. I have no reaction to it myself. I really was like, oh, since I'm not at all triggered by this at this time, let's talk about what this might be.
What's going on? No, my practice lately, and it is very much a practice because it's a little bit head. But it's just literally expressing love and thank yous and gratitude to those people who I should be expressing it to. But sometimes it's like, I'm going to now tell Katie I love her. Katie.
I know.
I love you.
Yeah.
But I have to like say, go here and get it out. Go into your heart and feel it and then tell them what you're feeling.
Feel heart, say words, robot man.
Exactly. It's a little bit robot man, but it is what it is.
I love you. I love everything about you. That's all.
Cool. I love you too.
I'm ready.
I love you, Katie.
I love you, Katie Rubin. I robot love all over you. I spray my robot jizz.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it oil? Is it like a lubricant? Is it?
I would think if you were a robot and you had jizz, it would be white and creamy because the designers would be like, let's make it real.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Okay.
The engineers.
Sure. Are they going for the uncanny valley? Like where? And it wouldn't be exactly right. You'd be like, that's
right.
Like it's almost exactly like jizz, but in a way that's really off-putting.
Right. It's white and creamy, but with like a tinge of silver through the middle.
Right. And it's a little too smooth.
A little too smooth. Tastes a little too good, maybe?
Oh,
or
okay.
does it taste like something else that's terrible, like feces?
Wow. I wish you hadn't made that statement for all of us. We could have all been enjoying that moment and just like riding it out and feeling a little uncomfortable. And then you're like, and it tastes like shit.
You know what's funny, though, is the thing about jizz, everybody, is the thing about it, for real, let's be real. A, it really depends on what you've eaten, the gentle person.
So I hear.
Okay. B, it's in your mouth so short of a time that I don't actually care at all.
Okay.
Because it's going straight down the gullet. So like,
I feel like in the description of this episode, we should have a content warning and it just says discussion of ejaculate. CW.
How is this episode now we have to do that? Every episode there's something insane.
I know. For some reason, sometimes it's just my triggers.
Okay. Ejaculate, everybody, not such a big deal in my world. I'm just like, sure, it's a little weird, but I don't give a fuck. I like that it's happening. You ejaculate all day, you do it. In my face. I don't care. Let's drink it down.
We're going to get some weird letters. So I hear you. Please do not attempt to contact Katie through allanterspod@gmail.com
and
be clear, request
I do not
services.
want to drink anybody's jizz. I don't like that. If there's a person I care about in my life and we happen to be jizzing, that's what I'm talking about. Let's move along. Let's
bring Andrus in to this conversation. Here we go.
Andrus.
Coming in.
She's here. Doing it. Living it.
It got
loving it.
weird.
Mice. Remember that chant from earlier today? Mice. Andrus!
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Mice. Do you have any mice in your house?
I used to.
Mice. Sorry. Very sorry. No more mice, though.
Did you murder them?
Yeah. What happened?
With the mice?
Yeah.
I ended up calling pest control.
Oh, I've done it. I did it with rats.
I had to do it. I really, like I started out, like I would set a couple of traps, 2 traps every night, have 2 dead mice in the morning. Then it was just like, I got a 3rd trap. It was too much death. I couldn't handle it. So then I started catching them in have-a-heart traps and releasing them in an area that I referred to as Mousestralia. I would drive them every morning down the road and like throw out a piece of toast and let them scurry into the woods.
Toast.
But it got to the point where I was like, I caught 15 inside of like 2 days. And I was like, that's it. They were so bold. They just run across the living room while you're sitting in there and stuff.
Oof, no.
So
nature.
Now I have bait stations. They come every 2 months.
That's cool. Nature is for real. You know what I mean? Nature gives 0 fucks about what's happening with your day.
100%.
Nature's like, I'm a fucking mouse. Deal with me. I'm running. I don't care. I got places to go. I'm focused. I'm committed.
Mice.
So thank you for being here. It was good to see you. Good night. It'd be funny if that was the whole thing. That's all. All right. Well, everybody, Andrus is back because we have really cool random shit to talk about with her. I'm very excited. This is we were just talking about ejaculate. So somehow we're going to move from ejaculate to mice to a ghost on your porch.
Does your ghost leave ectoplasm?
No.
Because that would be a good bridge.
Damn it. That would have done it. That would have been
Sorry, that would have been better.
Yeah. Does the ghost rouse the mice?
I don't think so, unfortunately.
This guy is the worst.
He has no sense of segue.
What's the story? Welcome back. We're happy you're here. Andrus, friend of the podcast, actor friend, local friend, friend of Kat Zidane, married to a person, living in a house, having a life.
That's true. All of that is true.
Is that what your bio says?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I live in this house that was built in a couple of different stages. And I have had numerous friends see the same ghost in my house. I have not seen him.
Quick question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just briefly, did the people who have seen him say to you, apropos of nothing, here's a description of what I'm seeing, and it happened to be the same as it? Really? Just they've never spoken to each other at all?
Correct.
Amazing.
I've had 4 friends see him inside the house, like basically kind of in this area right behind me. And then I just met what prompted me to text Katie and be like, what should I do about this? Or who should I talk to about this? Was that I was just at this fundraising gala for the local playhouse up here and met my new neighbor who bought a house down the road. And I was trying to describe to her where I live. And she was like, oh, you live in the house with the screen porch with the old guy who sits on it and cheers me on when I run. And I was like,
What?
I do live in the house with the screen porch.
What?
She's like, no, it must be a different house. And I'm like, no, I'm the only screen porch on the road and I'm right on the brook and it was clearly the right house. And she's like, well, maybe it's your husband. And my husband is younger than I am. And I was like, that's my husband. And she's like, oh, no, way older than that. He sits on the porch and he waves and he like cheers me on when I run. And I said, that might be David.
Now, you have not seen David.
And this is currently happening. Like, she's not like, oh, this used to happen. She's saying,
No, she just bought that house last winter, over the winter. Yeah. So like recently. And the people who have seen him, my friends who have seen him, within the last year.
Have you seen him?
I have not seen him. And I usually am like pretty sensitive to stuff like that. Although I don't see, these people are seeing a person. They're seeing a man, which is,
yeah.
I don't see things that way. So.
And you haven't had, if I remember, you tend to often experience things in dreams that tell you what's going on or whatever, or the ghost happens in the dream.
Or when I'm waking up.
Right.
Like I'll wake up, but I'm like in this
in-between place.
And you haven't gotten any like messages or audio or things about some old guy in your house?
No. I mean, I think my theory is that he comes out to check on the renovations every time we've like renovated something. He tends to like pop up right around there. So I think he's just like, what'd they do to my house? Like checking it out. And I don't know if the screen porch thing is like, we're about to rip the screen porch off and put it in a different part of the house.
Oh.
And which I think I showed you when you were up here, Katie, but we're going to move it. And he and his, if it is the guy I think it is, he died. There's a guy who died in this house in 2012.
That was going to be my next question.
Well, I'm assuming it is.
Is he the person who built the house?
He and his partner, Bill Conrad, lived here for many, 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 many years. And they bought an original, the 1939 kit house, and they built 2 additions to it. So he didn't build the original part of the house, but he built the additions.
Interesting. And he lived there a long time.
Yeah. And he died here in the house, not in the hospital.
What did he die of?
I think cancer. He was like sick and in hospice here for a bit.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
So that feels light.
Sweet.
That feels juicy and light in your bedroom. Do we know what room it happened in? I'm sorry.
I don't.
Can we conjecture about it?
I don't know what room it happened in.
Maybe the kitchen.
Maybe. Where I'm sitting right now is where the kitchen used to be.
I was just kidding because I thought dying of cancer in a kitchen would be funny, but nobody was with me on that because it's actually just gross and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not tracking that image.
No, but so I feel like it could be that guy. House has not had that many owners. The guy, I know the name of the guy who built the house, could be that guy.
Yep.
Or I suppose it could be the partner.
Yep. It could also be a rando.
It could be a rando. There's something
about that sitting on the porch and cheering on the runner is so specific. It's such a like,
Yeah.
this is what I want to do, and I'm happy to be here, and this is like my happy place. This is the vibe I get from that description.
Yep.
But that you've never, like, you sit on that porch sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
and you've never like sensed another entity hanging out with you. So like he's
No.
very respectful of your space somehow.
He really is. I mean, I feel utterly left alone by him. But yeah, what were you going to say, Katie?
Well, I'm thinking we open the records of the house
Ooh.
and and we ask whatever we want to ask about the house. And then from the records of the house, we could see who's this guy. And then we can open the records of the guy.
Okay. I love that.
That sounds fun, right?
Yeah. Didn't occur to me we could open the records of the house, but that, of course.
Yeah, I love a house records. Also, what we can do with the house records is clear anything that needs to be cleared in the house in general.
Oh, cool.
Side note, just for entertainment, 2 thoughts. 1, we have a Sagittarius moon right now. Do you guys know that we just had full moon and it's Sag?
It's strawberry moon, right? I heard it
Yes.
called a strawberry moon.
I don't even know what that means. Do you?
Neither do I.
It's strawberry season.
Maybe that's just it. I had a strawberry plum tart for my birthday yesterday. It was really good.
Oof,
Well,
that
happy
sounds
birthday.
Thank you.
really good. The reason I mention it is there's like fire coming out of people. Like it's a fiery moon and we're all like talking and saying talk is fire. I can feel like the Sag moon and the No, I love watching how these things play out. Like when it's a Pisces moon, everybody's like this. I don't know. What did you want to say something? You know, it's water and it's quiet and it's psychic. And then you have a Sag moon. It's I just love it.
And we're interrupting each other.
Yeah, I kind of like it. Sag moon, that was one thing I was going to say. And then, wait, records. House is that recently. I've had 3 clients need house clearings. So it's funny we're talking about a house again, but house clearings are really interesting. I just thought it'd be a fun thing to talk about for a second because it's very satisfying, I guess, for me personally. And it tends to be very satisfying for the client because if you call me from California and we can like clear your house of shit and then all of a sudden the house sells, like this is people wanting their house to sell. 3 different people wanting their houses to sell. The first 2, their houses sold like the next day.
Wow.
And the third one we just worked on, TikTok. We shall see what happens. But that is, that's just so fun. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
We're talking about many millions of dollars of like this one woman I'm thinking of in California who I did this with recently. Like she has several mansions in the world and one of them just wouldn't sell and wouldn't sell and wouldn't sell. And there was very clear, you know, when I was in the records, reasons. Anyway, we moved them and then the house sold. I love that.
Do
Come
you
on.
charge like square footage? If it's like a giant mansion, is it like a higher charge for your clearing? I feel like it
That's
should
fun.
be.
That's a good idea. Right now, I just usually what happens is I'm in a session that somebody already paid for. So it's just part of the session. But I did have a thing in California because in California, I was putting it out more. I should start to say this to humans again. It'd be funny if that's one of my business cards. I have 75 business cards already. But if my 76th business card is like, I'll clear your house of all of its weird juju. I used to get a lot of house clearings in California is what I'm trying to say. But I haven't been talking about it or putting it out there or something. So I haven't had a lot of people asking. I don't know. But I did have a rate. There was a house clearing rate because house clearings, it's like, particularly if people want you to go there, I'm like, I don't need to go there. I'll do it from my house. And they're like, I don't believe that's a real thing. And I'm like, well, then you're going to pay more because I'm lazy and don't want to drive to you.
It's because they want the short lady from the fucking from the
Poltergeist?
From Poltergeist. They want that experience, and they want you to say when you leave, "This house is clear, clear."
What is it?
I think she
thought it was
says
clear.
clean.
Oh, did we talk about this before?
I don't know.
I feel like we
forget.
talked about this before.
This house is clear.
But I think you were right in the end that it was clean.
This house is clean.
And what else is going on with you, though, Andrus? Tell us a little bit about you before we dive into this crazy shit we're going to do. Like, what are you doing? What's going on?
I could use a little more art in my life right now.
Yeah.
A little out of balance that way. I'm busy, but I'm not busy with all of the things that I'm not busy with stuff I hate. It's just out of balance. I'm not as busy with the stuff that I really love to do that makes me feel
Joyful, happy, alive.
yeah, and like who I am, and like I'm giving the unique thing that I have to offer to the world. Yeah.
Totally get that.
Feel ya.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting on that topic. I did that solo show I keep talking about a week or two ago, and I got to feel that thing we all like to feel that you're naming there. And I was noticing afterwards how if I were in my 20s or 30s, after a show like that, like a performance like that, like immediately and instantaneously, I would have been hustling and trying and pushing to make sure more of it would happen. It was really interesting to watch myself be like, and now I sleep in the next day. And now I see some clients. And now I think about where I might send it. Now I chat with a friend about places I might submit it. Now I'm just like watching the pace be so different in response. And the desire is still there to create more and to do more. But I don't know. I really like age in this way.
I concur.
I just don't. It's like, what's the rush? There's no rush.
Yeah. I mean, and this is especially in this time, we've all just had to sit so still for the last couple of years, or most of us have, particularly with respect to the performing arts. So it's just, I had a feeling this year was going to be like this, and it was just going to be like, you want it to be over behind you to go back. But I think we just have to be patient through this year too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what I'm saying is a little different from that, but I do know what you're saying. I hear what you're saying totally.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know that I feel like my patience has come out of the last couple of years though. I feel like I don't know that I've gotten more patient from age alone.
I hear, no.
Circumstance created a patience in you.
Yeah.
I hear that. Mine isn't age alone either. It's just age happens to be related. Mine is like 85 years of healing. And then all of a sudden I'm like, none of this matters. But let's do fun shit.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't matter. But let's do the things we want to do. But it's not that important. But it matters a lot. Like, that's how it feels now, as opposed to like, I am this thing and it's who I am and I have to do the thing and I'm dying if I don't do the thing. But that's just my weird little track that I'm on.
I had a thing happen. I was writing my bio. I'm directing a show for the first time in like 20 years. I don't direct. Yeah, it's just not a thing I'm doing. But I was writing my bio for that as a director for the program, which is very different than running an actor bio. And I found myself naming all the things I do as part of my bio and claiming them as equally important parts of my life, as opposed to side hustles that weren't necessarily the main thing.
That's nice.
Which is a flip from the earlier part of life where you have to say, I'm an actor, and not try and explain away to people that, well, I also teach and do this other thing.
Yeah.
Because I always felt like I couldn't claim actor because I all did these other things. So then I did just say I'm an actor. But now I'm like, I don't actually want to do that anymore. I actually want to stop apologizing for the other things.
Yes.
And claim them as being all 100%. I am a game facilitator. I am a coach. I am an actor. I'm a director.
All of which are relevant.
All of which are totally relevant and great uses of my skill set.
Yeah.
So it's like stepping into that, the claiming of all the things. I don't know if that's sort of off of the thing you were saying, like you're doing lots of things, but not necessarily the thing you think feeds you. And I was struggling with that. And part of my shift was to say, oh, what if those things actually do feed me too? I'm just not letting them because I...
Yeah. That's interesting. We'll have a think on that.
Yeah. No judgment, just thoughts.
It's awesome.
It's interesting too, because like everybody's on their own trip. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like some of the things that I've processed through in my life, some people have ridden that exact thing, never processing it to the top of the heights of all the things. And like would never have ever thought of it as a thing to process, nor would they want to. If you offered it to them, it would seem stupid and crazy. And the more I look at human design, the more I understand how correct that is.
Do you mean like drive is a strength as opposed to a thing that is coming out of pain or struggle?
Anything that is a thing. In other words, will take having to have what you want to feel okay. Like, let's say you want to be an actor and you only want to be a TV actor and it has to be comedies on TV and you have to do that to be okay. I didn't want to be beholden to that feeling. So I worked through it. And then I was like, okay with not actually sincerely okay with not having that. But some people, it would not be correct for them to get okay with not having that. What's correct for them is to make sure they have that. Like the more I look at human design and understand different gates, channels, centers. There is no one. There's no. I mean, I have the most specific random shit going on that's like making me have this focus, but everybody has their own. Like, I'm thinking specifically about when you have definition in the ego, it's a totally different life experience than when you have an open ego. And that's just one activation. That's one tiny little part of a whole complicated chart, right? Anyway, so yeah, just that.
Like, what is it that you're not doing, Andrus? Isn't that isn't checking those boxes or whatever it is?
It's literally just theater specifically. I mean, I've gotten some TV work. I'm not complaining about the work. It's good. It's just not, it's a very different beast, TV and theater. And it's,
Totally not as fulfilling.
It's not as fulfilling to me. And that's okay. I mean, it's fulfilling in lots of other ways. And it's kind of fun in the moment. I enjoy doing it. And then it's like, as soon as it's over, it's just over. Like, it doesn't like resonate in my body. And,
I feel that way too about filmic on camera things. Like stage, it's like you're there with the people and you're connected and it's alive in your nervous system. And then like the next 2 days, you're like riding it. Whereas with film, you're like, and again, and again, and again.
Yeah.
And then you do it again and again and again. And then it's done. And then you're like, I'm fucking tired.
It's 4:30
and
in
bored.
the morning.
Yeah.
And it's 4:30 in the morning. And I said 3 lines 700 times.
Right. And they're calling lunch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what's the address of your house, Andrus? We can bleep this.
Okay.
We'll bleep it. I don't know why this makes me think of that, but somehow I think you guys this past weekend, I fell in love with the East Coast again.
I think.
Shut up. Don't say it. Shut up. Don't say it.
No, I think you're an East Coast person. I think what we need to do for you is find something that you love to do in the winter that can only be done in the winter. And then you will look forward to winter. And it may be as simple, Katie, as finding you an apartment with a fireplace.
You have to clean those.
No, you call somebody once a year who comes in and cleans it.
Oh, I hate it so much.
No, I think you should come over. I'm a really good winter cook. We get cozy fires.
Listen, I have a dog who is from Mexico.
Yeah.
She has to go out like 4 times a day. She hates it. I hate it. I have to put coats on to take her to urinate. It's wrong. I think I'm just going to have to travel.
Or find a place to winter.
I think that's the thing. I like a little bit of winter.
Yeah. So just
not 6 cock-sucking months of it.
So just go away in January and February and the beginning of March.
That's my current plan.
Hey, it's Rami. I'm on the streets of New York City. It's my day off. I came to the city from sleepy Red Bank, New Jersey, where I've been for multiple weeks. And right now I feel like I smoked crack. I have so much energy because this city hops me up, especially when I haven't been here for a while. And I'm just feeling it in my body. It's quite a ride. Woo, Rami's rules.
Okay, we're doing great, guys. Everything's going well. Do we need to get into Andrus's thing? No. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. I'm just going to hop right into this and not really take anybody through a process on this because I don't think we need to. Is that okay with everybody?
Absolutely.
So we want to drop into the Akashic records of Andrus's house. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth, as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. Holy Spirit of God, Amen. Protect me from all forms of self-centeredness. And direct my attention to the work at hand, please. Help me to know the home located. In the light of the Akashic records, help me to see through the eyes of the lords of the records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Andrus's house have for Andrus's house. Okay, so All right, and so as we deepen into the Akashic records of Are we in those records? Yes. I'm just going to talk through a couple quick things here. One, the energy is like faint, so I'm wondering, can we strengthen it? Yeah, just one moment. Okay, that was just me not being fully connected. Okay. Okay, so there we are. All right, and so the records of this house, we're wondering, first of all, if we can, is this the correct place to find out who the gentleman on the porch is? Yes. Do we need to? No. Okay, great. I was going to be like, do we need to do these 5 other things? No. Is it best to open the records of the person on the porch? No. Andrus, her husband? No. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. So the house could use a little clearing actually underneath it. Are you okay with me doing that, Andrus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like the basement, but also the connection between the basement and the earth.
Uh-huh.
And the pipes. That connect the basement to the earth. And the foundation. And the actual earth. Oh my goodness. Just going to clear that out because it's the first thing here. And then we'll see about this gentleman. Yeah, we're just asking now just anything that this house could use to have cleared from it. Any energy stuck in the house, we want them to clear, release, uncreate, destroy. So it's easy for the construction to happen. So they have ease of flow, financial ease, abundance, home, peace at home, love, unity, oneness. Oh my goodness. Give me just a moment. This is so interesting. This house is wanting a lot. So, first of all, I did not really think of it this way. This came up with someone else recently, too, that the house has a toroidal field in the same way that a human body has a toroidal field, which is kind of like a donut-shaped grid or matrix of light that surrounds it and is part of the structure of the aura of the person. And so in this moment... Oh my goodness. What's clearing from the house is allowing the toroidal field of the house to come into full view and to be healthier, more activated, which gives the auric field of the house more structure, more foundation, more spiritual strength, you could say. You know, like, so the spirit of the house can be more whole and present. I mean, okay, is there more to clear there? No. So what is this here that I'm sitting with? Is this the guy? No. Andrus, Drew, their marriage, something else. Entities, demon, past life, karma, something near the house, above the house, below the house, around the house, okay? Do you mean like in the neighborhood? No. Like physically around the house? No. In the area of the house? Yes. The graveyard? Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Andrus, is any of this ringing any bells? Do you have any things you want to say?
I have a pet cemetery in my backyard.
Right. Oh my God. Ah, Okay, so whatever that density is about the pet cemetery, we're asking for that to be cleared, released, uncreated, destroyed, across all time, dimension, space, and reality. There's some kind of obligation around this pet cemetery. Who feels obligated about it? Is there an obligation? What is that, Andrus?
Well, I feel obligated, I suppose, to not. It has proper tombstones, like engraved granite tombstones. I don't know how many graves are back there. I'm going to say in the vicinity of 12. Bichon dogs and a lot of cats. And some people think it's very creepy. So we definitely had a moment of considering removing the tombstones, but I felt really, really weird about that. So I left them and I just let the kind of weeds grow up through it in the summer. My dogs run around and play in it.
Yeah, okay. Totally hear you. None of this is it.
Do I need to weed it?
No, none of this is it. Do you need to weed it? No. So this obligation is something about the person who put them there. And is that this? Yes. And that's the person in the house.
Yep.
Who's showing up. So who's that person?
I believe that person's name is David.
Who else might it be?
William.
Okay.
They were the partners who built the wings on the house.
And they rescued like all the cats. Half of them are buried in my backyard.
Sorry, that's really funny.
I mean, after they lived long lives, but.
Could you say the name of the second person again?
William.
Okay, so this is who we're dealing with. Let me be with this for just a second. Is William to do with the density that wants to clear? Yes. Is William the one visiting the house? Yes. Is William the one people are seeing? He's dead, right?
He is dead.
Yeah, okay. What made you think it was Dave, just so that I can be really clear?
Because David died in the house. William died in Florida.
Yeah, it doesn't apparently matter, because, oh my God, there's so much density here. Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah. What was William's relationship to the cats and dogs?
I believe he and David rescued them. I believe they were rescued strays.
Yeah, but he had a particular... Okay, let me just talk to Spirit now. He had a particular something with these animals. Yeah. More so than David? Like in a different way than David. Okay, can we clear this density, please? Is it messing with her? Yes. Okay. Is this actually the energy of William? No. Is this William's pain and grief and sense of obligation to stay near the cats and dogs? Yes. Can we process that for him? Yes. Okay, I'd like to just clear all of William. I'm sorry, Andrus. What's his name again? William. Energy from the house. Grief about the dogs and cats, guilt at leaving the dogs and cats, all that stuff. If we could process that for him. His lack of faith that they're okay. It's like he stays near them because he's just really not sure they're okay. William, so I'd like to talk directly with him if I could. Could we drop into his records? Yes. Okay. All right, so William, Or just, yeah. So are you the guy on the porch? Yes. Do you have something unresolved about the house? Yes. Were they divorced, Andrus?
David died in 2011. And William, I believe at that point, left the house and moved into a Greer Village, which is like a old folks community around here. And then he passed away in 2012.
In Florida?
In Florida.
Wait, the same year?
Yeah, he went on a trip to Florida, and my understanding is he died in his sleep lying in the sun.
Aw, that's sweet. Okay. This is all a yes. So what is the unresolved stuff? Is it about the cats and dogs? Yes. Is it about the house itself? No. Okay. Is it about your partner? No. Great. I'm going to ask Source Spirit to facilitate, please, the clearing and the processing of all of William Conrad's pain, grief, guilt, obligation about the cats and dogs for him, please. Okay, that is good. That is released. That is so much easier for me to deal with now. Sometimes I can't even answer any questions until whatever that is gone. All right, now, so from the house's perspective, no. From William's perspective, okay. Are you good with the cats and dogs now? Yes. Okay. Do the cats and dogs, souls, spirits, record keepers need facilitation? No. Have they all moved on? Yes. Are any of the spirits or souls of the cats hanging out, of the dogs hanging out by the house? No. All right. Have we cleared everything that was creating density in the house? Yes. In the auric field, in the toroidal field, in the health and wellness, in the love, in the money. Yes. Okay, great. Can you tell us a little bit about, and I'm just asking what's on top of mind, Andrus, but please feel free. I'm just going to ask him what he's doing in the house.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of people are seeing you. Are you aware that human beings have been seeing you? He's like, yes, I know. They see me. I know. All right. And so is there a particular reason you've been in the house? Yes. Is there a particular reason you've been visible to people? Okay, he says no, but then Spirit says yes. And so Spirit says it's like he's visible because he's hanging out in a way where he's unresolved around stuff. When beings, are meant to pass on and they leave a shadow aspect of themselves behind, that part of self is unresolved around something. And this is where Andrus, I don't know if you remember this, or maybe I said this to someone else, I can't remember recently, but we were talking about sometimes just by contacting an entity or a person that people are seeing in a house, they leave. You were saying, I don't need him to leave. And I was saying, well, just FYI, sometimes if we get in touch with him, he's just going to go. Because the part of self that is hanging out in our 3D world here is unaware that they're stuck. It's unaware that it's staying behind and not staying with the whole self and moving forward in its own soul development. So sometimes just by making contact with it from this dimensional reality of the records, right? It goes, oh shit, I was hanging in this house, my bad. And then they just go. They just go. And I don't make that happen. That's just what occurs.
Understood.
Okay. So were you hanging out because of the cats and dogs entirely? Yes. And you were just worried about them? Yes. But also it was guilt. He's like, I felt I had not done right by them and that maybe there was something I could to do right by them. How had you not done right by them? Sometimes I couldn't get back in time to help. And so it's like I took on responsibility of, it's my fault they died. And so then, we would bury them, and then I would just feel like I caused their death because I could have gotten home faster, or I could have tried harder, or something like that. But you feel resolved around that now. I do. Okay, great. Andrus, do you want to ask him anything?
Is there anything that I can do for the cats and dogs in the backyard?
No.
Okay.
Because I actually get it's just their bones now and the memory of them, because they've all transitioned, it looks like, quite nicely.
Would you like to know if it would be okay to remove the headstones?
Yeah.
Okay. So William, would it be okay with you if Andrus removed the headstones? He's not into that.
I got you. Don't worry, Mel. I'm not doing it.
He's not into that. According to Spirit's like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want. But William's like, I would prefer not.
You can tell him no problem.
No problem. She's not going to move him.
I have so many questions.
Okay.
Why hasn't he appeared to Andrus?
Oh, yeah.
Any insight to that?
Yeah, let's see. Why have you not appeared to Andrus? And he's going, I have. Or he's going, I haven't not.
I haven't not.
So what do you mean? How have you appeared to Andrus? Well, do you recognize that maybe she doesn't see you? So he creeps around, dude. Like, that's creepy, actually. That's a little creepy. He hangs out when you're sleeping.
Ugh.
Let me just listen into this for a second.
This is great, Katie.
That's just what
There's
you
a lot
need.
going on. There's a lot going on. First of all, he's there because it's not creepy. It's creepy to us, but he's like, listen, when she's in a sleep state, she's expanded. Her awareness is more expansive. And so that's the place this part of me has been living in. And so I can communicate and be heard and seen a little bit with her. She and I actually talk while she's sleeping. I hang out. He's like at this end of the room, like the foot of the bed, but against a wall. He also hangs out if you fall asleep watching TV in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Or in some room that you fall asleep watching TV in, or that you just fall asleep in. He's in there, and he feels like less alone when you're asleep and he's there, and he could kind of chat with you. So he feels like he's not been invisible to you, because you guys are chatting actually quite a lot. You're just not awake for it. Okay. So, okay, anyone what else do you guys want to know?
Cass, do you have more?
No, I got my two in.
Huh. I'm asking, is he going to leave the house now? And I get a no. Okay. Well, could you leave the house? Yes. He wasn't planning on it. Andrus, I need your point of view here. What do you want to have happen here?
I mean, he's okay with my living in the house now, right?
Yes, that's a big yes.
Okay.
Just ask Spirit, is his presence in the house causing any problems in the house for Andrus, for Drew, for nope, big time no. Is he a protector for the house? Yes.
No, he can stay. Yeah, he's welcome to stay.
Okay. How about this, William? As long as you thank you, by the way, for the protecting. As long as you're not causing any harm or density or slowing down to Andrus's process in life and to Drew's process and to what they're trying to create and their realities. I think this is a fine agreement to hang out as long as you're not going to be in the way. And he's like, he's funny, this guy. I have no interest in being in the way. I'll be on the porch. I'm just hanging out. I'm doing my thing. I'm watching out for everybody. I'm not a bother. He's kind of cantankerous a little bit. Like in a funny way. Curmudgeonly, you know. That's not right either, but he's got an edge. So, I mean, I literally know how to make him go, Andrus, if you want that. But if you don't, we just won't.
I can't think of any reason to do that. I think it's okay for him to stay.
Do you have any interest in being able to maybe see him in a way that's not him just creeping around while you're sleeping? Or do you care?
Yeah, sure.
You want to see? Okay. Hey, William, any chance you could make yourself visible to Andrus in the way? It's a big yes.
Okay.
She'd like to see you in the way that people see you. You know, they see you as like a man on the porch, and she doesn't. So maybe give her that, but like in a non-scary way.
Thank you.
And he's like, yep, totally, no problem. Just don't scream at me. I hate it when women scream. Oh my God. That's so funny. All right. Anything else? Anyone here?
Could
Andrus or Cass?
Well, I have a question about the basement.
Sure.
I don't know if this is a question for William or a question for the house.
Yeah.
So the basement of my house is actually above, most of it is above ground. It was built in 1790. And then this house was built on top of it. And it is an area of the house we are looking to make part of the house again in living space.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything else that we need to do in terms of clearing the energy in that part of the house?
No. We just did that. I mean, no, it's just a no.
Okay, so it'll be okay to live down there again?
Oh, it wasn't okay to live down there before?
Well, right now it's just full of furniture and it gets some water in it. So it's not, but we're going to finish it. It's got a fireplace. It's a pretty cool room.
I'm sorry.
Katie's going to stay in the winter.
I like it. I'm just not getting what the question is. Like, yes, finish it. There's good energy on that. Go for it.
All
Do
right,
it.
so bring it back into part of the house is what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I see. You mean instead of leaving it as an unused basement-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You know, here's the thing. Okay, I see now. This house is like, it wants to come back to life, and you guys are bringing it to life. And bringing that space to life, oh my God.
Okay.
It's like my eyes opened. The whole thing is bright and shiny. You get to use your beautiful style that you guys have, put it in there, white walls if you can, brighten it.
Mm-hmm, that's what I want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
The house loves that. Bright, white, all of that. That's going to be really cool, actually. It's going to, duh, but really raise the property value too.
We'll be here a long time. But yes.
Yeah, that's really cool. And the porch thing is really cool too. Everybody's happy about the porch.
Okay.
Oh man, it's going to be like a villa of delights out there. You guys have really created something special. Do you know that?
I feel that.
The universe.
I've watched the property around this house literally come back to life. Like trees that were trees the first year and a half we lived here, we pulled 48 peaches off of last year. Didn't even know we had peach trees. I mean, things are just, blooming that were not blooming when we bought it everywhere.
It's also just a lot of creativity and potency and aliveness in this space. And yeah, that's like the whole area benefits from your presence. It's really nice. This is going to sound crazy, but there's a way that you guys in that house are what everybody wishes they were. And of course, there's always projection involved, right? People project onto couples and houses and things, but people want a life that is a lot like what you guys are doing there. Fluid, creative, inventive, beautiful, style, classy, but edgy, modern, but classic, balanced. It's very balanced. The energy of the design and the energy in the house. Then the house brings me to one room upstairs that could use a little love.
Yep.
That way and up toward the bathroom over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That one's not quite caught up with the rest.
No, it's not.
But yeah, you're on your way. It's just going to be like incredible when you're done. And of course, in a way, you'll never be done. But, what you're building is really light and lovely.
Great.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Cool. Okay, let me look at the old clockaroni. Okay, I see. All right. Does the house need to say anything else? Okay, it does. Give me just a moment. Something about the brick in the basement?
Yeah.
What is it?
I'll do it this year. Tell the house I'll do it this year.
It's like, thank you. What is it?
There's a foundation wall that is being pushed in by moisture that we probably should have been the first thing that we did when we moved in, but it requires removing the oil tank, and it's like a very elaborate thing we need a mason in for, and it's just gotten backburnered.
I see.
But I'll do it this year. That's funny that it said that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else the house has to say? No. Okay. That was clear. So William's hanging out on the front porch. The house needs its brick handled and that upper room completed when you're ready. It's very excited for you guys to move into that bottom room. That it can't fucking wait for that.
Cool.
And the whole neighborhood and town, everybody there loves that you guys are there. They think you're very cool. They want what you have. They look up to you. La, 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 la. Great job. All right. We're going to close the records of this house. I want to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion, the lords of the records for their point of view, and the Holy Spirit of light for all knowledge and healing. I'm just looking for the address again. Here we are. I ask that you return all the energy of
14.
I'm looking at 14 and said 40.
This whole time, it's been the wrong records.
So you return return it to its complete housey wholeness. Divine portal and the Akashic records of are now closed. Amen. Now closed. Amen. The divine portal and the Akashic records of are now closed. Amen. 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 Yeah, we're talking about like your neighbor's like shed. Whoops. Okay. Wow.
That was so cool.
That was really cool. The brightness of I didn't want to leave because the brightness of the spirit of the house, particularly when you talk about doing anything to that bottom room, it's like, it's like that. It's really nice.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Squeezel blesses it with her kisses.
Yay. Come back, Squeezel.
Squeezel. I feel like, do either of you have anything you want to ask about? You're pretty, Cassidy says no. You're good. Okay, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, fun ghost episode, you guys.
Love it.
That was fun.
Thank you for coming back, Andrus.
It was a total pleasure and really interesting.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I was hoping it wasn't too, I'm all amped up today for no reason at all, so.
Sag Moon.
Sag Moon. Exactly.
It's that Sag Moon. We're all Sag Mooning.
And I have Sag Rising, so it hits me and goes, cool. All right. Well, thanks, girl. We'll have to come hang out. We'll bring the squeeze up to visit you sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, you guys.
Have fun up there. Take care.
Bye, Andrus. Great to see you.
Bye.
Hand kisses. Thank you for hand kisses. Oh,
Well, we've done it.
well, that was fucking cool.
You've made it to the end of another episode of All the Answers.
Yes, a chit-chatty, fiery one. And we thank you for your presence. Do your work.
And the dog is saying, "Come give me love. I am the dog that needs your love right now."
I am the dog of light. Bringeth to me your love. I shall.
I shall, and I shall love you. Katie, I love you.
I love you, Robot Cassidy. You and I have love for one another.
I love you, heart-based person, human.
Human, mammal, lady, person. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
But for real, though, keep doing that work.
Doing your work. You know how it is. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you, bye.
What are you asking for? All of the answers? Say what? All of the answers? Yeah, all the answers.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. We'd love to hear from you. Please email us with your questions so that we have questions to answer in the Akashic Records. Our email address is allanswerspod@gmail.com. That's allanswerspod@gmail.com. And if you'd like to find us on Facebook or Twitter, it's @allanswerspod, @allanswerspod. Thank you. Is that my computer dinging? Is that you guys dinging?
Let me make sure it's not me.
I just wasn't sure if it was me, actually. Any dense, heavy energies.
I think it might be Andrus.
Okay.
It's done now.
Any dense... That was very... It's done now.
This house is clean.
This house is clear.
No, it's clean. God damn it.
Clean.
Mixed and edited by Desmond McNeese for We Mixed It, LLC. Go to whatsoundsawesome.com.
This has